There's a revolution happening right now, and it's not some far-off, futuristic idea. It's taking place in one of the most important parts of all of our lives, our health. We're talking about artificial intelligence, and it's completely changing how we understand, diagnose, and treat disease in ways that, honestly, used to be pure science fiction. So how is this actually working? Let's get into it.
I mean, really think about that question for a second. Could a piece of code, just an algorithm, be the key to you living a longer, healthier life? For a long time, the answer was a hopeful maybe. But now, thanks to a very specific kind of AI, that answer is shifting to a much more confident yes.
So what's the engine driving this whole thing? It's called deep learning. And what makes it so special? Well, think of it this way. It's a kind of AI that can chew through these enormous, impossibly complex data sets, way more than any single person could ever review. And it learns to spot these tiny, intricate patterns. It's basically like giving a doctor the combined experience of millions of patients all at once. It's a superhuman level of insight. All right, so where are we seeing the biggest impact right now? Let's start with diagnostics, where every single second can make a difference. We're talking about AI's incredible ability to act like a world-class diagnostician, finding those tiny, faint signs of disease that are so often hidden, even from the most experienced human eyes. And here's the fundamental challenge in medicine, right? For so many critical illnesses, think cancer, heart disease, you name it, the whole game is won or lost on early detection. If you catch it early, the treatment is often way simpler and so much more effective. But those early signs, they're subtle. They're incredibly easy to miss. And this is exactly where AI's unique power just changes everything. Instead of looking at just one piece of the puzzle, these modern systems build a complete, holistic picture of you as a patient. They pull in your electronic health records, they look at your genetic data, they factor in your lifestyle and environment, and can even analyze real-time signals like brainwaves. They're putting it all together. So what's the payoff? When you can finally see that whole complete picture, the AI can connect dots that were previously invisible. And that leads to much, much earlier and way more accurate diagnoses for really devastating conditions like diabetes, stroke, and epilepsy. It's all about spotting the risk before it turns into a crisis. Now, let's go from diagnostics to one of the most complex frontiers in all of science, the human brain. I mean, for centuries, it's basically been a black box. But now, AI is giving us these incredible new tools to finally start decoding its signals and understanding its inner workings in ways we could only dream of before. So this is where things get really wild. Let's talk about brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs. The concept is actually pretty straightforward. First, you think about doing something, and your brain generates a unique electrical signal for that thought. Then, a really sophisticated AI model, which has been trained to recognize these signals, decodes that specific pattern. And finally, it translates your intention into a command for an outside device. This could literally allow someone who is paralyzed to control a robotic arm just by thinking about it. And it's not just about reading existing brains. AI is helping us understand how they form in the first place. Scientists can now grow these incredible mini-brains. They're called organoids in a lab. And as this quote from recent research shows, AI tools are absolutely crucial for analyzing their growth in real time. This lets us watch brain development happen, which could unlock the secrets to what goes wrong in diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's. You know, all of this is leading to a massive shift in thinking. For pretty much all of human history, medicine has been reactive. We wait for someone to get sick, and then we treat them. AI is finally giving us the chance to be proactive, to actually predict health risks and step in before anyone ever gets sick. I want you to just look at this number for a second. 84.1%. That's it, just a number on a screen. But what if I told you that this specific figure could represent the difference between life and death? Well, that is the life-saving accuracy that a deep learning model achieved in predicting which pregnancies were at high risk for a preterm birth. And get this, it did it simply by analyzing data from the microbiome, the trillions of tiny organisms living in our bodies. This kind of breakthrough could give doctors a critical heads up to intervene and protect some of the most vulnerable lives there are. And this just brilliantly shows the power of deep learning. The model didn't just do well, it blew 7 other more traditional AI methods out of the water. It's like the difference between a detective who sees the obvious clues and a master sleuth who spots connections no one else can.
It's a huge leap in predictive power, and it's going to change medicine. But look, with this kind of incredible power comes an immense amount of responsibility. This technology is amazing, but it's not a magic wand. If we're going to bring this revolution into the real world, we have to face some very serious ethical and technical challenges, and we have to do it head on. So, we have to ask some tough questions. First off, data privacy. How do we use all this incredibly sensitive health data while making sure it's locked down and secure? Then there's the problem of bias. How do we make sure the AI works just as well for everyone, no matter their background or ethnicity? And finally, there's the black box problem. How can we really trust an AI's diagnosis if even the doctors can't understand how it made its decision? Getting these right is the only way forward. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just a tech story. For AI to truly help patients all around the world, it has to earn the trust of the doctors and nurses who are on the front lines every single day. And that trust can only be built through careful, ethical, and totally transparent deployment. Which brings us right back to that big question from the beginning, but now with a whole new perspective. The tech is moving forward at an unbelievable speed. So the question is no longer if an algorithm can save your life. The real question is for us as a society. How will we manage that power? How much of our most personal, vital information, our health, are we willing to place in the hands of artificial intelligence? The entire future of medicine really depends on how we answer that.